Ciao and welcome to Italy. I am Francesca, I'm an art historian and I've been working as a tourist guide for the past 9 years. Today I will be taking you on a journey across Italy. But Italy, it's so full of wonders that we need to decide where to start. As for me, I have no shadow of a doubt. So if you agree, I'd like to start from my city, the place where I was born, the place where I live, Rome. Working as a tourist guide in Rome gives me the opportunity to show you everyday beautiful museums, incredible buildings, and contemporary art as well. I'm a big fan of street art. When you look at Italy, the boot, Rome is placed right in the center. And Rome, it's the fourth city per extension in Europe. It's a bit smaller than London, but incredible when you go on the other side of the sea and you compare Rome, for instance, with New York. Rome, it's double the size of New York. Unfortunately, we have 3 million inhabitants against the 8 millions of New York, so there's a difference. Now, if we have to start a virtual tour of Rome as we are now, of course, the place from where everyone starts, the place that is the most famous, iconic symbol of the city is the Colosseum. I'm sure you have already thought about it the moment I said Rome just a few seconds before. The mighty Flavian Amphitheater, also known as the Colosseum, constructed and inaugurated in the 80 AD by the Flavian family. It could contain 65,000 spectators. Think about it. Our modern stadium today contains 80,000, so it's not a big difference. It was the place for the emperors to perform and sponsor gladiatorial combats, animals fights, and also capital executions. It was very important for the emperors to clarify what you could do and what you couldn't do. So if you wanted to enjoy the shows, well, respect the law. So impressive building, architecturally speaking, just phenomenal. But the Romans were great engineers, so this is not a big surprise. When we talk about engineering in Rome, well, of course, the first stop must be the Pantheon. So let's move from the Colosseum and let's go in what we call Rome downtown. And there, right in the center, in an area called Campo Marzio, we find our Pantheon, the temple of all the gods. This is what the Greek word means, all the gods. It used to be a temple dedicated to all the gods. It's now turned into a church and is the best preserved temple that we have in the city. Enter inside. Well, when you enter, that huge dome is above you, one big piece of concrete again and again with that hole in the center. No worries, it's safe. But the hole, yes, it's open, as you can see from the picture. So what happens when it's raining? Well, when it's raining outside, it rains inside. But the Romans, as I said before, they were great engineers. So they equipped the floor of the Pantheon with holes everywhere to help the drainage of the water. So now you start sensing that my city, it's so full of things. Some of the things are very unique, like the dome you have just seen. But what if I say that in Rome, we have a thing that doesn't exist somewhere else? We have a city inside our city. The Vatican City, it's the smallest state in the world. The Pope is like a king in there and it lives inside the walls. It has only 800 inhabitants and they have their own very special guards, the Swiss guards, still wearing the uniform that was designed for them in the Renaissance time. But if the state is really small, the Basilica, St. Peter's, is the largest in the Catholic world. When we gather in St. Peter's Square that you now see in front of you, every Sunday at 12 o'clock, we can listen to the blessing of the Pope coming out from the window of his studio. And during the time of election, we wait in St. Peter's Square for the white smoke, black smoke to come out from the chimney that firefighters put on top of the roof of the Sistine Chapel during the conclave. But if the state is very small, St. Peter's Basilica is the largest basilica in the Catholic world. Look at the square right in front of the church. That's where we gather every Sunday at 12 o'clock to receive the blessing from the Pope from the window of his studio, and also where in time of election we wait for the white smoke, black smoke. Firefighters, they put a chimney on top of the roof of the Sistine Chapel to the right side of the facade. And by looking at the color of the smoke, we know if the cardinals have decided for the new pope or not. But the Sistine Chapel is open to the public and you can visit it during the tour of the Vatican Museums. The Vatican Museums are incredible galleries and palaces full of statues and tapestries and paintings. And at the end of the walk through the collection, you get into the Sistine Chapel. And above your head, you have the vault painted with the story of the creation by Michelangelo Buonarroti in only 4 years, 1508, 1512. So very fast. In the center of the vault, you find the creation of Adam that you see on top right as one of the most famous paintings ever made in the world. So Rome, it's full of things already, isn't it? Well, it's not it. One of my favorite places in Rome, it's Piazza Navona. It has a very strange shape. It's long, it's elliptical, curved at one side, squared at the other side. Impossible to mistake Piazza Navona with any other square in Rome. Well, Piazza Navona, it's constructed on top of another thing that you see on top right, the Stadium of the Emperor Domitian. Yes, there's a layer underneath that it has exactly the same shape of the layer above, the 1600s square on top of a 1st century AD stadium that was used for Greek games. Literally a lasagna. This is how we call Rome, a big, huge lasagna, layers on layers on layers on layers. But Rome is not only about Renaissance and architecture and ancient Roman times, it's also about fashion. And when we say fashion in Rome, we say Spanish steps. The charming staircase constructed in the 1700s with 136 steps to get on top in front of the Church of Trinità dei Monti. The staircase that you see lies in front of the street of fashion in Rome, Via Condotti, where you find all the main brands with their shops, including Bulgari, for instance, where actresses like Audrey Hepburn and Anna Magnani and also Maria Callas loved to go purchase their jewels. Well, now we are at the end of our trip in Rome, and well, as an Italian, I cannot finish a tour without mentioning food. Food in Rome, it's pretty much about fried things and meat. And well, if you want to try the most delicious fried artichokes in Rome, you cannot miss the Jewish Quarter. What you see in the photo now, it's the White Synagogue and the Portico di Ottavia. That is where you find all the best restaurants to try the fried artichokes and also the deep fried zucchini flowers. But when it's about food, of course, I'll pass the microphone to Pietro because he's a pro in that. So I hope you enjoyed this trip with me in Rome, and I hope I'll see you again next time for another adventure. Ciao, ciao.